Alright, to watch this video for December 2nd, which is going to be Friday. Again, I'm going to say this, I said this in the last video. I want to remind everybody that this Sunday, this weekend, Italy is voting on their version of Brexit and could be a market mover one way or the other. So I don't expect much from tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. I expect some indecision and not a lot of conviction one way or the other tomorrow. Having said that, it doesn't mean we won't find individual plays. And you can see the SPY's down a couple days on a little bit extra volume, probably in anticipation of that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Here's the list I've got for tomorrow. RCON, and I should have done some homework before making the video, but I'm checking real quick. Yeah, oil and gas. It's in oil and gas. Looks like maybe out of China though. 3.5 million according to finviz.com anyway in the float. So you had this huge spike back here all the way to $1.90. Then you had this spike that reversed, and then one of those inside days that kind of reminds me of SGY, how it looked going into today. And SGY was a huge gainer for us. So I'll show you that in a little bit because it's back on watch for tomorrow as well. But so this is a low float oil and gas play that if oil continues higher, it's going to be back on watch, or is going to be on watch for tomorrow, and could pop, right? SPU, just another quiet, low volume down day. It's had a big move from almost, right above 6 to through 9. So that's like a 50% move in a week. So this 2-day pullback actually becomes very interesting to me. I like it more now than I did 2 days ago. So that's SPU. PZRX, another down day. We're getting close to that round trip, which makes me like it less. But this 30 million share day, and now sellers have done pretty well. I don't know. It just definitely goes on. There was no trades in it today. It was on bounce watch for today, but didn't give me any setups that we teach. So it just goes back on watch for tomorrow. It's still in play for a potential push higher after 3 days lower on very little volume. So I still like the setup. VBLT, kind of the same thing. Gapped up 3 sessions ago. You've got 3 red days. Almost no volume today. Doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. URRE. One thing I don't like about this, I like this pop, I like the little base, and then the secondary pop, but it's right back down to where it was. Not when the original rally started, which was down here, but you definitely have nice support below now. So, in that respect, I still like it a lot. You got the 20-day right there, and you've got nice price support. So, but whenever you get a pop and then 2 days right back to where the pop started, I'm less excited about it, but it still goes on a chart. Believe it or not, I actually like this chart a lot, CRM. They had earnings, which obviously must have been good, about 2 weeks ago? And I had this on bounce watch, like when it looked like this or this. Never caught a trade in it because it never gave me a setup. And then all of a sudden today it gets fast to the downside. So this was over 80 and now it's under 69. And actually in after hours, this is trading at about, this closed after hours session at about 67 bucks. Look to the left, you had a really nice rally from that gap down there. So I love, if this gap's down tomorrow, I'm going to look for maybe an initial sell-off and then a bounce, all right, or a red to green, something like that. I really like this one a lot, just because it's getting way ahead of itself to the downside. I think the gap down in after hours is because WDAY, I guess it's the same space, right, reported closed at 81.60 and it's trading at 72 in after hours. So, that's right around here. So a big gap down in that one. I guess that's hurting CRM too, but CRM, at least I think so, reported back here. I thought that was the reason for the gap up. So it's kind of silly after this kind of sell-off following the gap up to have a gap down tomorrow. That's one of my favorite setups, but it still may not give me any kind of entry. We'll see. SGY, this thing, this thing made a huge move. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Went all the way to 817. I'm going to show you on an intraday basis where I called this. If you watched my video last night, you knew I had this on watch. When it looked like this, okay, we had the gap up. Remember I said that 520 area was important. That was a recent high. So we had the gap up and the sell-off. Kind of sucked in some shorts in my opinion. And when it looked like this, I called it. My idea was 514. Somebody asked me in chat why I picked 514. It was not an exact, there's no exact science to it, but I'm calling this candle here, I think it wasn't open yet. I think this is kind of a pre-market tick because the volume didn't come in until this candle. So I really think this was the opening candle because sometimes stocks open late. So anyway, my thinking was, assuming you want to call this the open, it opened at 516 and had an opening candle high of 527 on the 5-minute candle chart. So my thinking was you kind of have a sideways move here. I like the pop, might have had shorts a little nervous. So 514 puts it right below the red to green, and I thought this might get some momentum and give me a high of day break and maybe squeeze, and that's exactly what happened. Squeezed way more than I thought it would. But that's a pretty good entry right there. The stop was 499, so extremely tight stop as well. And if you follow me on Twitter, yes, I am a very humble guy. I posted, hey, call of the day by me, because I couldn't believe how that thing ran. But anyway, got my daily goal and then some in the bank pretty quickly on that one. So it goes, since we had this much of a sell-off at the end of the day, sell-off, pullback, whatever you want to call it, it might give another nice trade tomorrow. So I'm going to watch it again tomorrow. Keep an eye on oil. CRM, let's see, STY, LEI was on watch today, never gave a setup. It gapped up. It looks like it sold off, but ended up closing fairly strong. So that just goes, it's a low float, low price. Before I say low float, let me double check. Oil and gas play. 7.5 million is what finviz.com says. And again, the low priced oil and gas stocks, pretty strong today. I'll give you a couple examples. BCEI. Really nice breakout attempt there, LGCY. So it's kind of the group GBR tried to rip today. We did get a trade in that one, but it ended up not. I really like this one too, up over that 250 area. Keep your eyes on GBR, by the way. It's not on the watch list, but if oil gets a move, that one is certainly worth watching. So anyway, back to LEI. LEI goes on watch tomorrow. SKLN, which some of the guys in chat were on this one. I missed it, but they called this really early and had a really nice move. Had this big move somewhere in here, a secondary, and a 3 days down, and a pretty strong day today. So I'm going to see if that'll continue to bounce tomorrow. It just goes on watch. And then SCON, after the gap up yesterday, today, gap down a little bit, sold off, but then closed pretty strong. So maybe if that gets up through 3 or something, it'll be on watch, all right? We'll also build a list of gappers in the morning, and hopefully we can get our daily goal early and start our weekend. So enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.